Well, good morning. This is Pastor Michael Brown with Kalamazoo Gospel Ministries and another segment of Stories of Hope from the heart of our community. Thank you for joining us today. Today, my guest is Don Edgerly. And Don is one of our board members here at KGM, so we really want to make sure that our community gets to know our board members. Don, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Pastor.
It's good to have you here, man.
It's great to be here.
Always enjoy times when you and I get a chance to sit down and talk, kick things around and everything. But this morning, I really want the community to get to know our board members and find out, what drives a person to be a part of this ministry. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm pretty much a lifelong resident of Kalamazoo. And with that, my wife is also pretty much a lifelong resident of Kalamazoo. Mm-hmm. I'll start there, we met 25 years ago, and last month celebrated our 24th year of marriage.
Oh, wow.
We have two great kids, Luke and Hannah. Mm-hmm. Luke's 21, doesn't live in the area any longer. Hannah's 18 and 1 foot out the door, is attending KVCC right now, mm-hmm. but will be going to a full 4-year university starting in the fall. As I said, we've been married for 24 years. My wife is my best friend. We have been members of a smaller church in the Richland area, mm-hmm. for most of our married life, and then recently started attending the River Church, right down here downtown, mm-hmm. which has really coincided with my involvement with the mission, because I think God's working on me in multiple areas, and has really kind of coalesced a lot of things to help me get to this point, mm-hmm. And wanting to help people in need and be a part of this ministry. I'm an employee of the Upjohn Institute. Okay. I've been there for 8 years now. Mm-hmm. Wonderful organization, very proud to be there and part of Dr. Upjohn's legacy. Yeah. And I guess I'll pause there and let you ask me some questions.
Yeah, the Upjohn Institute has been a great supporter of the gospel mission over the years. And it's really glad to have, I'm really glad to have you, someone from that organization, to be a part of our board. I just think it's really great. We want to be plugged into different segments of the community, mm-hmm. and everything. So Don, why Kalamazoo Gospel Ministries? There are a lot of different nonprofits in town, a lot of great faith-based nonprofits. Mm-hmm. What made you choose this one?
Okay. Well, I guess the short answer, mm-hmm. for that is that the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission supports the people who are most in need, mm-hmm. in our community. Mm-hmm. I mentioned earlier that I also attend the River Church. Part of what attracted me there was that they have a strong commitment to supporting individuals in the urban core who are in need, mm-hmm. And I just wanted to be a part of that. And so being a part of the ministry here allows me to serve that purpose. Okay. And I think, if you want to take a look at what we're called to do as believers, next to spreading the gospel, mm-hmm. There's not too many bigger themes than serving people in need and the poor. And so that's really kind of what led to my desire to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm blessed to be here. Yeah.
So how did you educate yourself? Because you knew about the ministry for a moment anyway, mm-hmm. before you came on the board. So how did that work? How did you become more familiar?
Sure. Well, like I said, I've been a lifelong resident of Kalamazoo, mm-hmm. and you can't live here and not know about the ministry because, mm-hmm. of the work that it does. So I've always kind of known about it to a degree. Mm-hmm. But I guess what kind of catalyzed it and started our relationship, mm-hmm. was that I'd heard some things in the community, some rumors about the ministry that concerned me. Uh-huh. And so I came and you and I met and we spoke because I wanted to understand directly, what those rumors were and what the truth really was, sure. behind that. And so we had a great conversation, and I realized through that conversation that what I'd heard was not accurate, and that and even further through the conversation, then I really was able to understand that this is a place that I believed in. I believed in the ministry. I believed in what it represented, and again, really saw an opportunity for me to be a part of something much bigger than myself. So again, it's just been an honor and a blessing to be here.
One of the things I find is that people, even those who've been a part of the community for a long time, they know about the ministry, but what they know about the ministry is just so small in regard to all that the ministry does. What did you think when you first started learning that, yeah, we do this, and then there's this, and then there's this? How'd you feel about all of that?
I had no idea the full extent of what the ministry did. My understanding up until you and I met and I started learning more is that it was, I guess the best term to describe it from how we talk about it are the emergency services.
Sure.
It's a shelter service. It feeds and houses people in need. I had no awareness of the life development curriculum or programs that we have here and how we support people in many, many different ways beyond just those basic needs.
Right.
And I love seeing the stories of hope.
Yeah.
And how we impact people's lives and really do much more than just meeting those basic needs.
Yeah. Now you seem to have just gotten all in. I mean, you went from hey, I'm hearing this, I need to know this. You're our vice chair on the board now.
Right.
Did you think that you would be that far in that quickly?
I didn't think I'd be that far in that quickly. But as I said earlier, I just feel like God has been speaking to me for a while, and that this is something that He wants me to be involved in. So I knew that I'd be involved.
Yeah.
And just me personally, I try not to do anything halfway.
Right.
So if I'm passionate, I'm going to be involved with it, then I'm going to be fully committed to it. So
yeah, you've proven that, brother. The last couple of days, I sent out an email giving some information to the board, and you were the first one that hit me right back. We need to talk about this. We need to, how's this going to impact the ministry, and
Right.
that kind of things. And I love that. I love that. I met with someone earlier. And I was talking about them and their board, and one of the things that they struggle with is having board members that are not only whose names not only on the board list, but being involved.
Right.
Making connections in the community and making sure that the right information is out there. So I love it, the fact that you're involved, that you're ready to respond and to give, into the ministry for whatever expertise you can offer. So I'm excited to see where we're going in the years to come, in these next few years, just to see how yourself and some of the other board members can help guide this ministry, because we've got some challenges coming, What do you think, and I guess we just, talking here, what do you think about all the homelessness in Kalamazoo, the panhandlers, the tent cities and all of that? Does your mind, how do you wrap your mind around all of that?
Wow. I guess the best way to answer that is just for me, it's why I want to be a part of this ministry, because it is such an issue. There are so many people in our community who are in need, who don't have a place to live, who don't have a focus and a life direction, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so I think if as a believer, we're committed. We should be committed to serving people in need and to love on others. And so for me, that means I've got to do something.
Right.
I've got to be involved. I don't know what that looks like always. He does.
Yeah.
But I've got to open myself up to it and be involved. And so the best way that I've found so far to do that is to be a part of this ministry here. So I don't know how better way to say it. I think with so much need, how can you sit on the sidelines and not feel compelled to do something. I was driving to work this morning, driving downtown, and I was right on Michigan Avenue, just coming in, and I probably passed at least 6 people with homeless signs standing on the side of the road. I mean, it's a very real issue for our community, and I think it's something as believers that we need to do everything within our ability to try to meet those needs.
Sure, you know, and I know that there are so many people in the community, as you said, who are believers who, when they see someone with a sign or they hear about someone who is in despair, they really want to do something about it. Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, for me, over the last 20-some years, has been one of those places where you can put your faith in action. Absolutely. You know, where you can, through a concerted, coordinated effort, you know, you can make a difference.
Right.
And I know from time to time you'll have people who'll have a little effort going on here and an effort over here, but I think when we work together, you know, especially through an agency, an organization like ours that has been successful over 88 years now, you know, then that's good ground to sow in, because you know, they have a track record that you can look at that's firm, and you know that they know something about how to address these problems because they've been doing it for so long. And we've got so many success stories that have come out of that. You know, we've got people on our board who used to work here, you know, who used to work more directly with our population than anybody else. We've got people on staff here who have been a part of our population, you know, and so that always makes us feel really good when we see that. You know, most people, and I think you're one of them, I know I am, what my mother used to call tenderhearted. You know, and some people, my brothers and sisters used to say, he just an old crybaby, you know, but my mother would say, no, she said, you have a tender heart. And when you see people hurting, you see people in pain, it just pulls on your heartstrings to make a difference. I've talked before about a young lady who was out here when we had the tent city going on, and for some reason I was walking with a reporter, and I turned around and I saw this young lady, and for a flash of a moment, I had the sense that could be my daughter. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart that anybody's daughter, wife, mother, sister, you know, would be in a tent in the freezing cold. And what can we do about that? Right. You know, and so that's one of the things that keeps me getting up every morning. You know, I know that's one of the things that stays on your heart, because you're one of those people that are always thinking about how can we do this different, how can we do it better, you know, and things like that. What are some of the things that you've seen since you've been here that you think, you know, we do that really, really well here?
The first thing is the breadth of what we do, or what you do, you and your staff and your volunteers do, is that no one serves people in need to the degree that the mission does in this community. And so the breadth is just impactful. And one of the, I guess, a really good example of that I'm sure most of the community isn't aware of is when you had the clinic for the COVID vaccine. And that clinic was open to our guests. And when the clinic was finished and we had vaccine left over, your staff went out into the community and went over to the bus station, started trying to pull people in to see if they wanted to get the vaccine. I don't know of anyone else in this community that's giving the COVID vaccine to people who are homeless right now. So where do they go to get it? And it's just it's a level of care and service that they're not getting anywhere else. The other thing that I would like to say is, because the emergency services that we talked about already, we're providing food and shelter for people, are in place. But there's also the life development services, where you're trying to put people on a path so that they can, you know, get their life to a point where they're not in need of those emergency services. And then finally, I mean, you're spreading the gospel. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a church. The Kalamazoo Gospel Mission is a church, and we are spreading the good news, which is what the biggest thing that we're called to do.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
if you love Jesus, if you want to reach people for Christ, if you want to help the homeless,
Yeah.
there's no better place in Kalamazoo to do it.
I think this is a real good spot for me to say, if you are listening to this and you want to be a part of what goes on here at Kalamazoo Gospel Ministries, give us a call. 269-345-2974. That's 269-345-2974. Or you can check out our website, www.kzoogospel.org. And I mean, you can contact us for a host of things. If you want to be a supporter, you want to be somebody who supports this ministry financially. If you're looking or thinking about a possible board position, give us a call. If you want to volunteer, give us a call. If you need our services, and even though you might not be staying here, if you have a need, give us a call. And if we can't meet that need, we will connect you with someone in this community that can address the need that you have. If you just need prayer, give us a call, and one of our staff would be more than happy to pray with you. And if none of that is attractive to you, then just take a moment and pray for us. Okay, pray that God will continue to keep us alert and viable within the community, keep us connected so that we are working with other agencies, but just keep us relevant in a ever-changing world, because we want to stay. I believe the gospel is always relevant to whatever times we live in. And so you can get in touch with us, get a hold of us. You get any of your questions answered. If you want a tour, we'll be more than happy to give you a tour as well. It's a whole lot going on down here, man. It's a lot going on. And now we, with our new building and all of that going up, we got all of that going on. We're excited about that. Somewhere later in 2021, we're hoping to have that building finished. And so just a lot going on. And I might mention too, right now we're talking about naming opportunities. Whether you want to outfit or furnish one of the rooms within the building, give us a call about that and we can talk to you more about that. So Don, what did you think? I mean, did you think that, I wonder if I'm going to have a skill set that the gospel mission could be able to use? Where could I get plugged in at? Or something like that? Do you feel, as a member of the board, that your skill set, that what you bring to the table is being utilized?
Yes. And first of all, I don't consider myself to be an expert in anything. What I think I'm adept at is I have a network of people that I know. I know people who are a lot smarter than me, that I can rely on, or that I can turn to when I need support. And one of my goals in my current role on the board is really to try to help strengthen the missions network within the secular community, because I know we have a really strong faith-based network. I think there's opportunities for us to form, stronger relationships within, the business community in Kalamazoo, and I have tried to be a part of that. So I think that's where I've been, I have the ability to, I guess, to provide some services in that area. The other thing that I wanted to say, you talked about being involved in the ministry and all the different options. I know when I've looked at that, and I've done some volunteering here in other roles and other capacities. There's so much to do. I mean, serving at the mission doesn't mean you have to be that person who's out there, holding hands with people. I mean, there are other ways that you can serve. That's not for everybody. Right. And so if you want to serve in some capacity, there's something that you can do. So everybody's not doing the same thing when you come here to serve. So there's lots of different opportunities. So I would encourage people to look out for that and to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you brought up something a moment ago. You're talking about making those connections within the community. You said We have a strong faith-based connection, but there's connections that can be had within the secular community, and I agree with that. One of the things that I'm concerned about, though, in society today is that we don't talk to people.
Right.
You know, if you're not saying the exact same thing that I would say, well, I don't want to talk to you, you know, and I don't think that's right. I believe that through dialogue, through talking, through sharing information, we learn so much that we didn't know, and we develop relationships and friendships that are vital, not only to the organization, but to the community, you know, for the community to become better. And so I want you all to hear me say that I'm willing and we are willing to have those conversations to find out how can we work together in order to make our community better. Right. And it means that we're going to have to respect each other's positions on different things. And we want to, I'm sure we each want to maintain our identity, but that still we can work together. And I would love to see us have some of those conversations. And so I appreciate you bringing that to the table. And I'm looking forward to just seeing how that develops over the course of time. You know, I have enjoyed meeting our new board members when they come in, but I enjoy being friends as well. You know, that means a lot to me, you know, that our families, you know, our wives love each other, you know, and, you know, our families get close like that. And I really, really appreciate those things. It's good, I think, for us to have people we can sit down with and just have fun with. It doesn't have to be all business. You know, we can have fun with, have great conversation with, and I think that helps us to grow individually and as a community.
Yeah.
So I love that. I'm looking forward to it. We've just about come to the close of our program here. Is there anything that you would say to someone who is watching this program, maybe thinking about being part of a nonprofit board, maybe here or at another nonprofit?
Yeah, I guess I'll try to be brief. How much time do I have? I'll try to be pretty quick.
You got time.
But before I say that, I want to just mention, comment on a couple things you just said. Is that, you know, there is so much divisiveness in our society right now, and I think there's divisiveness in the secular world. There's divisiveness in the faith-based world.
Yeah.
And I think we are so quick to run to corners when we disagree on things,
Right.
and not as quick to find common ground.
Yeah.
And as believers, we are called to love first and above all else. And that part of that means that we need to seek and find that common ground. And you and I can have different opinions, right, and still respect each other's opinions,
exactly,
and find ways to work together. It doesn't mean we have to agree on everything.
That's true.
And that's something that you said that, and it struck me, and I just wanted to say the same thing. And I think that's what we do here, and that's what we can do more of. Yeah. And so, you know, I guess I'll repeat what I said earlier on in the interview, is that, you know, if you love Christ, if you love people, and you want to help people in need in our community, there is no better place to do that than the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission. So,
well, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. Don, at the end of each one of our interviews, I always like to pray for my guests. You mind if I pray with you?
Please.
Okay. Won't you all join us? Father, I just thank and praise you for my brother, for Don. God, I thank you that you directed him here. I thank you for his heart, God, not only for this ministry, but for the people that we serve and for this community. I pray, God, that you would continue to give him direction and give him insight and discernment, God, as he serves on our board. Show him unique ways and creative ways, God, that he can connect us with other segments of the community, that he can help keep the conversation going, Father, so that we can all make our community better as we work together. Father, I thank you for it. I pray, God, for those that are listening right now, Father, that someone may have heard, first of all, something that would connect them to you. Father, something that would show them that they have a need to be connected to you. I pray, God, that they have heard something that might stir them to be a part of this ministry because you are involved here and because of this is what you are doing here at KGM. And I pray, God, that you would continue to cause this community to have dialogue, to talk together, Father, to support one another and realize that we are all better together. God, we love you. We thank you for it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So this has been Pastor Brown with another segment of Stories of Hope from the heart of our community. My guest today has been Don Edgerly. We're looking forward to seeing you here again next time, next week. God bless.